Hey guys, what is up? My name is Leah, for those of you who don't know who I am. And for those of you that do know who I am, you know that I've been wanting to make this channel and do my YouTube videos for makeup since the beginning of January. And I just didn't get to, and I was really sick and I was going through a lot, but I finally started. You guys should be really proud of me. Um, so today's look is this. Um, a lot went into it, so if you guys are excited as I am about this, just go ahead and keep on watching. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and comment down below for any other videos you guys want to see. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with primer. I have the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer and the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. These are both really good for pore minimizing, as I have really large pores, my cheek area, my forehead, nose, and chin. So you're going to go ahead and blend all of that out evenly. Make sure there's no spaces left. And then you're going to go ahead and start with foundation. I'm using the Fenty Beauty foundation in the color 150. This is my absolute favorite foundation right now. It's super lightweight and it's not oily. It doesn't flake by the end of the day. It still looks like you just put it on. So that's why I really like it. And even though it's sold out at Sephora right now, I would really recommend trying to find your color and getting it when it does come back in stock. So as you can see, I do one side of my face first, and then I go ahead and do the next side, so that you guys can see the comparison between how my skin looks before and after. And I didn't use any color correcting before, because it really does cover up the red spots that I do have and the acne scars. So once I get it all on my face, I go ahead and blend it out, make sure that there are no spots. Then I'm going to go ahead and move on to powder, and I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I don't believe there's a color to this one, it's just regular translucent powder. And I set underneath my eyes, and I actually set all of my face, but I start with the eyes because I do get a lot of creasing under there, so I want to make sure that the foundation doesn't crease before I put it on, or else it'll stay creased. With this foundation, actually you don't have to use powder because it does set itself, but I use powder because my skin does get oily by the end of the day sometimes. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start on the eyes, and I'm using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and with this one you're going to go ahead and smooth it out completely. Make sure it's completely blended out, or else when you put your eyeshadow on, there might be some empty spaces, and it might look a little patchy, and we definitely don't want that for our eyes. I like this one. You can use whichever primer that you normally use. This one is the only one that I've ever tried. So next we're going to go ahead and go into the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I take a fluffy blending brush and I start by putting a single transition shade, which is the closest that I can get to my skin tone, or the lightest at least if I use a white or a really light beige. And I do this so that when I blend out my eyeshadows, everything has one basic colors, because my eyes are a little bit different color than the rest of my skin. So now we're going to take the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and we're going to use the color Eden as a transition shade. My bad. And then I'm just going to build this up and continue to use sweeping motions until I decide that it's the best color and the color that I want it to be. So typically I do back and forth motions, and then I also do circular motions while also going back and forth to blend it out. That's just what I do. You guys can go ahead and blend out any other way that you would. And then I'm going to go ahead and just speed up the other eye a little bit quicker. I'm going to show you one side, and then I'll speed up the second side a little bit quicker, as you can see. So yeah, I'm still using that same color. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and go back into the Modern Renaissance palette. And this color is called Burnt Orange. And that one you're going to pretty much do the same thing, same motions, just a little bit lower, and make sure that you're not using too much product, or else that color will take over and you won't be able to see the transition shade. And then next we're going to go into the color called Venetian Red in the Modern Renaissance palette also. And same motions, it's the same brush, same everything, just a little bit lower and blending it out a little bit more. Continue to do this until I decide that it's the right colors. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the second eye also, so you can see. And then once they're both and nice and blended out, I'm going to take a clean blending brush. In my case, this one isn't very clean, but it's going to work anyways. And I'm going to go ahead and blend out both sides with just this sweeping motion, same motion that I was using before. Continue to blend it out until all the colors are seamless and put together. And then I'm going to go in with a more round brush and go in with the color Love Letter from the Modern Renaissance palette. And this one I'm going to take mostly in the outer corner of the eyes and focus that to give it a darker look on the outer corners. I'll do the same for both eyes and blend that out as well. Alright, so once that's all blended out, I'm going to go ahead and carve out the inner corner of my eyes with the Naked Skin Urban Decay Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. You can use any concealer, normally I do, but this is just the one that I had on hand at the moment. And I'm sorry that I'm covering this up right here, actually. So I just focus on the inner corner and mostly where my eyelids kind of crease when I open my eyes. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend out the top and blend out the outer part of the corner to make the concealer not have any harsh lines. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette again, and I'm going to use the color Celestial to put that right over where I put all the glitter primer, and I just put the glitter primer right over the concealer. So same place where I put the concealer, I put the glitter primer, and it seems like it's kind of pointless to do both, but I like to use the concealer to make sure that there is no different colors showing through, so that it all looks like it's the same color. So once I put all the glitter primer, I'm going to go ahead and start putting that Celestial color right over that. And I'm also going to be using a loose glitter. This is from the brand Beauty Creations. I found this at some little store, so if you can't find it, I'm sorry, but it's just a regular glitter, cosmetic glitter you can find pretty much anywhere. So I'm just taking a flat brush and placing the glitter right over all the glitter primer. If you don't put a glitter primer before, the glitter will not stick. So make sure you get a glitter primer that is sticky and doesn't dry too fast, which is why I use the NYX glitter primer. It's just the same as using the Too Faced glitter primer, just cheaper. So if you don't have one, go ahead and pick this one up at the store. And at this point, a lot of glitter fell onto my cheeks, so I was trying to rub it away, but as you know, that wasn't working because glitter kind of sucks. So once I finish that, I go back in with the Love Letter color from the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I go over the line where concealer met eyeshadow so that it looks a little bit more seamless. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye. So I'll let you guys watch that over again just a little bit faster. So like I did before, I start carving out the inner corner of my eye with the concealer. And I kind of blend the concealer out all the way to the end, so I use most of it on the inside of the corner, and I take it up as high as I need to. And then I go ahead and start with the primer, and start with that Celestial color from the Huda Beauty palette. And then once I do that, blend out the edges again, and then I start with the glitter on the inside. And then I'm just gonna keep on packing in the glitter. You can never have too much glitter, am I right, ladies? Anyways, So I keep packing it on, and then once there's enough, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more color back in the outer corners to make sure that it's blended out and to the color of my liking. And then I'm going to go ahead and start with eyeliner. I use the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper Black. I start with the outer wing first. I draw that line, and then I draw the line from the outer wing back to the inside corner. And I kind of cover it a little bit. I try to do this the best that you guys can see, but I just start trying to connect both pieces. So I go from the inside to the middle and from the outside to the middle, and then connect them from there. I really like this eyeliner because it's not too thick. It's really easy to work with. Also, the brush is a little bit stiffer than some of the other liquid liner brushes that I've used, and I kind of like that because it's harder to mess up almost. A lot of the other eyeliner brushes that I have used are a lot more flimsy than this one, and when they're more flimsy, it's easier to put on a lot more eyeliner than you thought because you make more mistakes, and I don't really like that. So once I finish the eyeliner, I'm going to go ahead and brush away all the excess powder under my eyes. I'm finished with the top part of my eyes at least. I'll do the bottom part at a later part in this video. So I go ahead and brush all that powder off like I did before, paying really close attention, making sure I don't get the brushes in my eyes. I've done that before, it really hurts, and then it messes up my makeup. So now I'm going to go ahead and start with the lashes. I'm going to show you guys one side because it's a little bit harder to show lashes on video. So I take the Duo Eyelash Adhesive in the color white, and then it dries clear. And I use a Q-tip to put the glue on top of the eyelash line, the strip. And I waited 30 seconds to a minute for it to get tacky. You don't want it to dry completely or else it won't stick. But if you put it on your eye before it's tacky, it will burn, just to warn you guys, so make sure you do wait before you put it on. And I do use tweezers. I can't use my fingers to put eyelashes on. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows, and I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in the color medium brown. So then I take a flat angled brush. This brush is from Morphe. I don't know the exact number. I got it in one of the brush bundles, but I do like using this brush. So I start by outlining the bottom line, and I do that all the way across, and then I go ahead and do the top line. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of my eyebrow. I make it a little bit darker on the outside with the towards the tail area, because it gives this more of like an ombre effect. And then I leave it a little lighter on the, I don't really want to call it the inside, but on the inside corner towards the inside corner of my eyes. So once I finish filling this one in, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I do the second one. It'll be the same speed, just so you guys can see how I do my eyebrows. But I also go in over the pomade with a powder or an eyeshadow. So just so you guys know that is what I do. So I go ahead and make sure that they are even as I can get them at least. And I'm going to carve them out with some concealer before I put the powder over them. And I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in the color 0.75. They no longer sell this concealer. I don't know if they just stopped selling it at Sephora or if they stopped selling it overall. But they went on sale a few months back, and I think they just stopped selling them. But I like it because it is a really thick consistency, so it's easier to carve out my eyebrows. I wouldn't recommend using it like under your eyes or anything because it is so thick that for me, my eyes crease a lot, and if I use a really thick concealer, the that'll crease and make it look even worse. So I use it for my eyebrows, and so I just continue to carve it out with a different flat angled brush, as you can see, and I just continue to blend them out and make sure that there's no harsh lines for the concealer. And then I just want to make sure that it's completely blended out. I take great pride in my eyebrows. It's the one thing that I feel like I do really well. So I just keep on blending all the concealer out, making sure there's no harsh spots. And then I take the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette, like I said before, and I take the darkest brown shade called Chocolate Dipped, and I mostly put that powder over the ends to make it a little bit darker. I don't really touch the inside, or else that kind of gets rid of the whole ombre effect. And I take the spoolie end of the brush and I just brush the insides out. So now I'm going to go ahead and take bronzer. I love the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. That's my favorite. It smells just like chocolate and I love it. So I take just a regular a regular round brush, and I start carving out my cheeks. And sometimes I make it like a fan and focus on certain spots, and then I continue to blend that out, as you guys can see. And then I'm going to go ahead and focus on the outer parts of my forehead. I like to focus more, since my forehead is kind of square at the top, I focused on the top corners to make it look a little bit more round. And then I do my nose and the sides on the bottoms of my cheeks. So now I'm going to go ahead and do underneath my eyes, and I'm going to take the Huda Beauty palette again. I'm going to take that color Eden and just use that almost as the transition shade like I did before. And I take a little brush and I use the same colors that I did in the top. That one I believe is the Love Letter color, and then the Burnt Orange color. And I just focus those right on top of the waterline. And then I go ahead and use the Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara. And now I'm going to do my highlight. And this highlight is a special highlight that was made just for me by a little company called Clionadh Cosmetics. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I found them on Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and tag them below for you guys to see, because look at that highlight. Look at how blinding it is. I always get compliments on this highlight. I think it is gorgeous. And they do custom highlights just like this one. So if you guys are really haven't found the right highlight for you and you're really looking for something that you need in your life, like I need this highlighter, then go ahead and check them out, because they do great work. It's really inexpensive, and I promise you guys are going to love it. So I do the inner corners underneath my eyebrows, my nose, my cupid's bow on my lip, and my cheek. Now I'm taking the Urban Decay 24/7 Lip Glide lip liner in the color Stark Naked, and I'm just outlining my lips. I do have to overline a little bit on my top lip because, let's be honest, I don't have one. So I'm going to take the Too Faced Melted Matte Liquified Matte Lipstick in the color Sell Out. This is my favorite matte lipstick, and this is the darkest color I'll wear, but I love it so much. So now I'm going to set this makeup look with the Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray. As I said before, my face does get pretty oily by the end of the day, so I like using this. I'm going to go ahead and spray it all over, as you just saw, and I'm going to dry it as quickly as possible. You don't want to let it sit, or else your makeup might run a little bit longer. So yeah, you guys, that is the finished look. I hope you guys loved this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Comment down below. Let me know what else you guys want to see. And please subscribe to my channel and continue watching. I'm doing this all for you guys. Thank you guys so much for always inspiring me to do better. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.